Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Burker, Flame, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Um, I haven't done a video where I've been ranting and rambling for a long time, especially like an hour-long video. And I saw this like Overwatch tier list by some fucking bronzy kid on TikTok, and I was like, yo, kind of gotta do my own. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rank all these ultimates. Um, just for some background, if you don't know anything about me, I was rank 1 Genji for season 5 and 6. I've been consistently top 500. Not as of recently though. I'm kind of washed and retired, but I am playing the game a lot more. So there's that. I've been playing since Overwatch 1 early days, since the jump. So I've been around. I've played a lot of Overwatch. We'll just put it that way. I've coached. I've played in T2 experience. I've played in tournaments. I have coached Overwatch contender teams. I've seen it. I've played it. I've done a lot with these ultimates. So I have a decent idea of how to rank these. And as for criteria, I'm just ranking them on just pure effectiveness, like in team fight potential. Just how effective they are in winning the team fights. That's the goal of the game, obviously. So I'm not ranking them off of like 1v1s or duels or anything like that. So just purely how effective they are in a 5v5 team fight on equal standing. Also, bear with me with all of these tabs. I'm using Opera GX. I literally don't know how to like put it on its own tab, so you don't have to see all this shit. You probably wouldn't have seen it if I didn't point it out. But actually, now that I am pointing it out, I would like to bring you guys here to my page. Um, let's see, how do I do that? Right? How do I do that? Um, just dashboard. So here's me. If you guys ever are interested in getting coached and getting better at Overwatch, you can come over to Fiverr and hire me for a quick hour or less, and we can just analyze some of your games and make you a better gamer. So it's gonna be on Fiverr. I'll put the link down in the description if that is something that interests you. But without any more rambling, like I'm already saying I'm doing, let's go ahead and hop into it. So I'm gonna be honest. I actually don't recognize this ultimate. I want to say that's the Symmetra wall. I've never seen that. So that's already a bad look for me. But we're just gonna go ahead and get down the list. Back window, I'm gonna put on a solid. I'm gonna put on a solid B tier because it's very effective when combined. Like, okay, also there's also the criteria of ranking them in conjunction with people. Like for example, if you combined window with like Fire Strike, and that connects, that's a lot of damage. Um, so it's going to be hard to rank that as well because there's a lot of nuance with these ults. There's a lot of combinations, a lot of scenarios that can occur. But on its own, wall just shooting through it, it's decent. You know, it's very aim dependent. So if you put this wall down, this window, sorry, I know people get that mixed up. It's a window actually, but it's also called amplification matrix. So there is no saying on whether it's a window or a wall. You know, I'm just gonna call it wall. If you shoot through this wall, does double damage. Um, it's very, very aim dependent, so you can just put this window down and miss all your shots, and this you might as well have not ulted. So it's very, very user dependent. But I mean, double damage is great, and just thinking about all the combinations you have, there's a lot of pick potential. The only reason why it's not ranked any higher is because yes, it is aim dependent, and also it's also position dependent. If you put it in a bad spot or a not so great spot, they're just going to walk away from it. So it can be just kited very easily. Speaking of kiting, one of the most difficult ults to kite. Who is calling me at this moment? Give me 1 second. That's not a phone call, that's a phone alarm. My bad. Um, Ram Ultimate is very, very good too. They did change it a while ago to where it doesn't last as long anymore. I think it lasts a max of like 10-15 seconds. Before though, it used to be just never ending. As long as this dude was in, as long as they were in his aura, it would just be there. But it ends now, so it's not an indefinite ultimate. It's very nice for Ram. He can just be super aggressive. Yet again though, you can kind of just kite away from the Ram, and LOS does block it. So if you're playing on like Eichenwald, first point, you can just kite all the way back to like your second point. And if he doesn't make it through, you can wall him off. a lot of things can happen and you can just lose the ultimate. So it's not awesome. It's great though. I mean, this can definitely get a 5k for sure. In theory, all of these ultimates can get a 5k. But from what I've seen, this ultimate's very 50-50, especially if you nano it. Like if we're talking about nanoed ultimates here, that's a different story. But just ram ult on its own is still good, still decent. Um, is this really the Bastion icon? Oh, that's true, because there's no mortar. It's fine. I would almost put it down here. It definitely needs some adjusting. It's just a very underwhelming ultimate. I wish they would have just returned Bastion to his former glory, how he was, but you know, you can't have everything. Um, this is good for like killing snipers, though. I will say you can just pick off a widow. I think just one kills her right on her. I'm not sure about the pure damage of it. Either way, it's very easy to hit her. Same with like Ana, characters that are kind of immobile. Again, you can combo this with like Zarya Graph and get a 5k and make it look awesome. But in your regular solo games, it's okay. It's good for trying to get picks before the fight. That's about it. You know, you can miss. It's only 3 shots. It takes time to actually move your shots and hit them. Uh, yeah, it's not awesome. Cool ultimate though, very cool. Fair Barrage, I'm putting that at least A tier. I would almost put it S. Now you have to hear me out on this one. It really comes down to how you want to use these ultimates. This ultimate can just kill Mauga, and Mauga's got, you know, like 700 health and armor on top of his stinky aura that gives him lifesteal and I think damage resist. I can't even remember anymore. I'm still kind of retired. But you can delete anybody. This is just a delete button. Now, yeah, there is like a huge telegraph because they're gonna see you in the sky, kind of like Reaper Ultimate. Wherever it's at, I can't find it, but it's somewhere in here. It's looking right at me, right there. It's just like Reaper Ultimate where it's easy to telegraph. Like most of the times, people will know, even gold players will know that, oh, you're probably gonna ult because you're getting close. But if you flank with this barrage, it's just over. It's just really, really over. The DPS on it's insane. Yeah, you do stand still when you cast it, but it shoots so fast that you most of the time will get your damage out before you die, and that's the goal. You know, just getting all those rockets down. It is like Suzuable. You can get slapped, shielded, lamped, blah blah blah. But in its right circumstance, the barrage is deleting people. I'm putting Symmetra Wall. I'm gonna say this is Symmetra Wall. It has to be. It just has to be. It's a weird icon for it, and I think it's the Overwatch 1 icon as well. I mean, that was kind of stupid to say, right? Most of these are Overwatch 1 icons. But like Overwatch 1 Symmetra had so many changes that I honestly don't know shit about her. Um, Probably the hero I know the least about, honestly. But if that's the wall that we're talking about, it's not awesome. I mean, it's cool that you can have a wall, and there's a lot of nuance there because it helps your entire team no matter where they are. Um, you can have like a shit wall placement, and they just don't care. You know, you can have it horizontally, and it should have been vertically, or it should have just been rotated a different way. I don't know the actual HP on it. I think it's like maybe 4K, 5K HP. The numbers don't matter. It's still just a big wall, a shield wall, as opposed to this wall. Oh, that does get confusing more than I say it, huh? So that's a window then. So this is a window that can be shot through. This is a wall that can be shot through. This doesn't give you any damage boost. This does. It's a little bit higher on the list for that reason. Um, it's more akin to like Symmetra being a support slash defender. No, she was a support in Overwatch 1. So this is more of a support ability. I'm glad she has an underwhelming ultimate because she is Symmetra. Fuck Symmetra. We're not going to talk much about this. Beat, A tier. Definitely at least A tier. Just be engaging into a fight. You should be able to just walk it down and at least get a pick because you can just walk at them. Yeah, just walking at people doesn't mean you're going to kill them, doesn't mean you're going to win the fight, but a well-timed beat engage with a speed boost is very, very nice. It should be more than enough to get the job done. Now we're coming on to my favorite ultimate in the game, yours truly. Uh, Absolutely love Dragon Blade. It's a very mechanically awesome ability to use. It's half the reason why I even like the character so much and why I've played him for 6 years plus. But we're gonna be so honest. Overwatch 1 Ultimate is really good. 8-second blade. It did swing a lot slower, but it was very, very nice. I would put it maybe lower end of B tier, but I'm gonna leave it in C tier for the most part because we're talking dry blade. So this is not nano. This is not under a Curie ultimate. This is not swiping a discorded target. You're not blue beamed. None of that. This is a dry blade. Um, it's still good. You could still very much win your one. Like if you jump on an Ash and you blade, um, you can win that. Obviously, you can win most 1v1s, and most of the time, just getting a singular pick wins you the team fight. Should at least. Um, it's very skill dependent though. Like probably the most skill dependent ultimate here, because the other ones that are quote unquote skill dependent do require some aim. This one requires positioning, which is harder than aim in my opinion. Um, it's just a rough spot. A lot of the times too, this ult gets countered because they don't want you to get clipped. They don't want to get clipped on by you, so you'll end up getting a lot of value for it, which is why maybe B tier, because a lot of the times you can just pop your ult and the sound of your ult, they'll just react and you'll get so many ults out of it most of the time. So there's always that going for it. So I'll probably put it in lower end of B. Obviously for me personally, it's like an S tier ultimate. I love it, but it's definitely weak as shit. We'll be honest. It needs a lot of like babying for it to be really good. So unfortunate, but that's my boy, right? Same thing with May Ultimate. It can be EMP'd, just completely stopped. At least if Genji gets EMP'd, his blade stays. He just gets locked out of his abilities, but he still has his blade. Like he doesn't sheath it. This ultimate just completely vanishes. It's gone. You cannot use it anymore. It just stops. That being said, it is nice to zone people off of objectives or areas that you want to hold. And if you do like end up getting somebody, that should be at least one pick. Again, no combos with like Zarya Grav or like speed boost or anything. A well-placed blizzard that gets somebody frozen, and if your team's looking, even if you're just looking, just those right clicks to the head, that's good damage. Not terrible. You also generate it pretty quickly because Mei can heal herself on top of doing damage. So anytime a character can do that, they should be generating their ult pretty quickly. Not bad. Not bad. Reaper Ultimate, honestly, probably in the same category, maybe even a little bit lower. You will see like team wipes with this in like lower elos, and sometimes you'll even see it in higher elos, but it's almost impossible to make this thing work half the time because it's probably the easiest ult to telegraph, and you might have to just get flanks with it. And the DPS I think is like a total of like 450 or something like that, so it's not going to be instant killing anyone. So you can just jump on an Ana and ult, and she can sleep you still, or you can jump on like anything really, and it can get countered very very fast, much like Blade, except Blade is there's a lot more nuance to Blade, where this is just a single animation and you're spinning shooting guns. So you're just kind of hoping that your shit kills with this one. This one you have to really get in there and think about what you're doing for the most part. This one you can kind of just press Q, die die die, and shit might die die die. Not very consistent. I don't feel good about putting it in C tier though, because in my experience I usually get at least a kill with this ultimate. A lot of people think of this and they go like, oh, this should be like a team kill type ultimate. That's obviously the goal with every ultimate in this game, but just the way that Overwatch should be working and does work is, you don't see team wipes off every ultimate. You play for the one pick, you play for the safe plays, you don't go for hero plays. It happens, and that's the fun part about Overwatch, but it's very expected for this ult to get 4 to 5 to 6 kills back then, and even now. And it's still doable, very much doable. On average, you might get like 1 to 2 to 3, and in your rare cases, you might get 4 to 5. In any case, it's a pretty niche ultimate, not that awesome. I'm putting it in C tier. I'm just gonna leave it there. We can argue about it for post not clarity or whatever the word is, posterity. Bob can get hacked. Bob can be in a bad spot. Bab, bitch, bitch. Bob can be thrown off the map on accident. Bob can shoot the wrong target. Bob can be stuck. Bob can be bobbed. Bob is not awesome. Bob's a cool ultimate. Bob's a cool guy even. I fuck with this hat right there. Just gets hacked, stopped, whopped, popped, and lopped. more often than not, it just gets it just gets ignored, and it's not anything crazy. Um, I do also feel weird about putting it in C tier, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that we're doing that. We're gonna leave it in C tier just for now. And I also want to make this video a little quicker. I actually don't want to be here for 7 hours. What the fuck is this advertisement? Holy shit! Did you guys see that? Um, yeah, it's like the Black Friday weekend, so I'm getting just spammed with a lot of shit. I also broke my monitor earlier, so I'm just getting a lot of like technology, electronic ads, which is cool. Let's move on to Coalescence, B tier at the least. Might even put it A tier. Anything in this beam's getting healed and damaged. Obviously not if you're an enemy, not getting healed, but you can heal your teammate and be damaging them, their enemy, your enemy, at the same time. Very nice beam. Gives Moira lifesteal as she's connecting with her targets. Does decent DPS. They keep on buffing this character. They want her to just be played more. This absolute fucking devil of a character. Um, it's a good ult. You should be able to secure at least one pick with it, especially on the squishies. You throw your damage orb out, get this going at the same time for that extra DPS, and you should be able to secure one pick. It lasts a good time, so if they like Suzu through it, you should be able to keep going and at least secure a pick with it. Again, it does have that heal factor too, so if you're fighting, if it's in the middle of a team fight, like on point, it's just getting a lot more value because it's hitting so many people. So it's not limited to like one enemy, one teammate. It's very, very good in that regard. Whereas like Visor, which we'll get to, has one target. You could be stuck visoring like the tank or whatever. So we'll leave it in B tier. We're probably going to see a lot of ultimates in just meh tier. I do like Torb's ultimate, his nut. I do like his nut ultimate. I don't know if I like it more than his old level 3 turret and his overcharge ultimate. But this is kind of in the same standards as Mei, so I'd probably put it next to Mei's. Probably better. So in this order, they're going from left to right. It's going from strongest B tier to weakest. So in that setting, let me go with that. Also, I forgot to mention that Blade can also get out healed by a lot of things. Because if you're fighting like someone who's getting cold, it's gonna be kind of hard to kill them unless you have prior burst damage. It's just a very weak ultimate. You can spend almost all your slashes on somebody, and if they're being pocketed, it's probably not gonna kill. So again, it's position, skill dependent, timing. Hopefully you pop it when there's no cooldowns. Like it's very very uh, it's very dependent on a lot of conditions. So before I get even more sidetracked, let's get back to Torbolt. Torbolt's like Cole, where you can zone with it, kind of like, Torbolt's like Blizzard, where you can zone with it. It cannot get EMP'd though, so you just nut with your hot gooey lava nut, and it doesn't. It's just there, right? They can't do much about it. I'll be honest, I died to this before. When it's placed in really good spots in the middle of team fights, it sucks. Like it sucks to have to pay attention to. It's like playing fucking like some platformer, and like there's an added challenge, and there's hot gooey molten core everywhere, and you have to avoid that while also fighting and managing everything you were already doing. It can be a very annoying ultimate. You can spread this goo like a very big radius. That's the word. Radius. Yep. You can spread this very far, so you don't have to just nut in one spot. I know a lot of people like to nut in one spot. Comment down if you nut in one spot. But this one you can spread it around and just add more value to it. It does decent damage too when you're sitting on it. So if like an Ana steps on it, she's kind of cooked because she can't like dash or anything like that. So you can sometimes just catch people standing on it and get free kills. Deadeye, C tier. Deadeye is pretty shit. If you pocket him, like give him bubbles, speed boost, a platform, it can find some value, but like on its own, raw Deadeye, even if you flank with it, a lot of the times they're just gonna sleep you. They might just find ways to counter you or kite you. Also, the more health something has, I believe it's current health too. So if you like headshot on Ana and then Deadeye, it'll fill up really quickly. But if you just flank, pop your Q, you're gonna see those red little circles be so slow. It takes some time for it to ramp up. So you're really hoping that your team goes, or your enemy team goes, what? There's a high noon somewhere? And then they fucking panic and look for 8 seconds, and then you go, ha, I finally got your ass. Then you can get a 5k, sure. That's never gonna happen though. Very, very rarely will that happen. Will you get raw, like Deadeye 5ks, 4ks? Will you get a 1k? Probably. Yeah, it's probably useful in that regard. But you could also just click someone's head and get the 1k. This ultimate hurts. Same thing with Hanzo Dragon. I almost want to put it in D tier just because I don't have anything there yet. Only time you get value off of Hanzo ult by itself is if you throw it on a very unaware person, or if they're fighting in a choke where they can't leave. For example, like Junkertown. I don't know the name of the point, but a lot of points on Junkertown have those chokes. The one that I'm thinking of, I'm not even gonna bother trying to explain it because it's so hard to do without any visual. But regardless, they need to be in like a choke. Then you can throw this ultimate and find some value then. So it's very reliant on that condition that they're in a certain area where they can't leave it. Even then though, when he ults, he just shouts at the world. You can hear this ultimate so you know where the dragon's going to be coming from. So you have ample time to just walk to the left or right for like a second and juke it. That being said though, if you do end up getting caught in this, it should be almost near death if you're not a tank. I had just a game earlier where I just fed myself both bubbles from this ultimate as Zarya and got free charge. So it's nice like in that regard. It's awesome for feeding charge. As for fight potential, it's nice zoning ultimate, much like these ultimates here. Probably going to be the weakest one though. Oh, someone's calling me again. Isn't that something? That's an alarm again. We'll put it at the weakest one, where Torb-Net's the strongest one. Mei ultimate's fine. Again, Mei ultimate needs to be EMP'd to be stopped. Which won't happen a lot, so you're still going to find a lot of use out of it. Echo Copy, probably S tier, our first S tier. I mean, you know what? I actually got to put an A. In theory, it's an S tier ultimate. Because it gives you like an extra life to work off of, and then you can also get that person's ultimate fast, which is nice. A lot of times I'll save copy for when I want to take like an aggressive dive, and if that dive doesn't pan out, I'll just copy, so that's like they didn't kill me, haha, turn into them or someone nearby, and then try again with that second life or get out, try and find value. Like for example, if you copy someone like Winston, who can get his ult pretty quickly and copy, turn into Primal, you're just a second tank. It's pretty cool. You can turn into Mercy and get a res. While saving yourself, you're saving someone else, bringing them back. You can turn into almost any character. You can just get their ultimate. So it's much like Blade, where it's skill dependent, it's condition dependent, like depends on what heroes they have, depends on what the fight looks like, but it's much better than Blade, right? Because it can be Blade. It can be a Fair Barrage. It can be an EMP. It can be any ultimate it wants to be. This is just a Blade that kind of hurts. But this is definitely A tier for sure. EMP, definitely our first S tier. No contention there. A well-coordinated EMP or even a not so well-coordinated EMP should result in either a team wipe or a pick. You pops your EMP and you go on the back line. If they have a Zen, he pops. If they have anything, it pops. If you kill them before they get their abilities back, that's the optimal thing. But if it gets Suzu, then EMP never happened. You can get slept out of it, which is rare. It can counter almost every ultimate in the game. So can her hack, but her EMP can break things such as Blizzard. Obviously, it'll break Bob, but you can just hack Bob. Just very strong ultimate, indeed. And either with or without coordination, still strong. Not up for contention. Sigma ultimate is Dece. It's Dece. First you gotta not whiff it. Then when you pull them, there's just the up-down portion of it, which is good. You can Sigma 9 people. You can pick them up off of the objective, and they can't be touching. So there's that rare circumstance where you can just win the game in overtime with this. Um, Anyone that gets picked up in this that's not a tank should be popping anyway. Usually you'll hit them with like a primary fire while they're in air and then slam them down. Hopefully your teammate's looking and they can shoot at them. If not though, by itself, you should be able to kill squishies with this. A lot of the times though, if they have their cooldowns, they can time it and hit the ground before they hit the ground, so they can like Suzu themselves. They can throw lamp down, stuff like that. It's a good ultimate though. Just don't whiff it. We'll leave it there. Same thing. Just don't whiff it. This is a lot better though because there's no movement, and you know when enemies are suspended in the air and such, your teammates might not be able to hit them. Sad reality. But inside of a grav, almost should be winning. Um, I typically do not grav unless I have like above 60 energy on Zarya. I need to be fat laser, and I'll usually just hit someone that's not a tank or near the tank, and I'll just shoot them. And most of the time they should pop with or without your team. So you should be at least getting one pick with the grav every time. You know, a lot of times it's kind of like Reaper Ultimate where you see Graviton Surge and it should be combo with like the most awesome ultimate like a Hanzo Arrow or Genji Blade or something like that. And you'll get them all in one spot and then pop them. Sure, that's a good combo. But like I'm saying with this tier list, it's on its own. No combinations. You know, maybe I should factor in combinations, at least realistic ones like Nano Blade. But just to keep it all fair for everything, we'll keep it the way it is. So just grabbing on its own, you know, provided you have charge, pretty decent, and your teams can help you. If you don't have charge, not so decent, not so decent at all. I like it though. Just for the content, I'm gonna put it in A tier. It should be winning. Kitsune, very strong. S tier. Walk him down ultimate. Nothing much more to say about that. I mean, attack speed, cooldown reduction, just awesome. Just an awesome ultimate. Very good. Very great. Magnificent even. Combos with anything, ever. Anyone, ever. Every ability, every shot, combos. Doomfist ultimate, decent. You know, it'll keep you alive. It heals you. The slam down is a lot of damage. Can one-shot Ana, can one-shot backline. For the most part. Actually, I think all of them get one shot. Can allow you to play a lot more aggressively, much like Copy gives you like that extra life. So if you're about to die, you can just pop that. That being said, a lot of times you can mess it up, and you can get slept out of your ult quickly. Um, you have to hit this also. You have to actually manually aim on someone. A lot of the times people don't even use it for that. They'll just land like on height and then, you know, restart their dive. So it's not an awful ultimate, especially for the fact that it heals you. So you can go in, hard dive by yourself, do something really aggro and stupid, you know, get antied, get fucking discorded, get all their cooldowns out, then just ult, since your hitbox disappears, you'll cleanse yourself of that stuff, you'll heal back up, go back in again, you know, that's pretty good. So it's pretty good for that matter. Ball mines, C tier, great for zoning, just like these ones, but you can just walk away from these ones. Same with Blizz. Torb, you can walk away from it, but it's not in one spot. The mines are always in like a nice little like 10 by 10 or something like that. I don't know the actual meter by meter, but they're just there. You can also you could before they changed it, you could Doom Slam and it did just enough damage to kill the mines. So you could Doom Slam and just break every mine. Or you could throw like a lot of shit at these mines and break them. The only time they're useful is when ball slams you, mines you, and you're someone that can't do shit about it, like an Ana. So any ult that gets you caught out really is good, right? But mines just being there in a fight, they can be useful. I've seen them be useful. I just rarely ever see these be used effectively in my games and in games I've seen and watched. Also, ball doesn't get picked very much, so there's also that. Nano boost, high A tier, high A tier. Let's go ahead and readjust these a bit. High A tier for sure. I think these are all pretty good in terms of adjustment. Actually, I put this one a little bit higher. Uh-huh. Yes, yes, good, good, good. Yeah. Okay. Maybe put this a little bit lower. Do I think Blade is worse than Han's ultimate? No, I don't. So we'll keep it that way. All right, back to where we were. Nano boost. Almost anybody who nano is useful. Even Mercy, probably the least useful one I can think of right now. Even a Torb with his hammer out, they're very useful. Just the damage reduct itself is very good. You know, if someone's getting jumped on, they're gonna die, and you nano them. They should be able to win that trade and just return the fight, possibly even getting a pick. So it's very life-saving ultimate. It combos with everything. You know, nano blade. Like I said, you can nano mercy even. You know, anybody under that nano is gonna get that testosterone hit and just go in. And almost 95% of the clips you see out there are from nanos. You know, whether you think about it or not. Maybe not 95%. That was a crazy ass number. My bad. Still though, Nano Boost great. Nano Boost awesome. Love it. Love Ana, one of my mains. Absolutely love that ability. Wish I could nano myself though. Really wish I could nano myself. Sojourn Overclock. It used to be pretty shite. It's okay now. Still B tier. Still skill dependent. It's a lot better than Torbolt, Doomult, May, Blizzard. It's a lot better than all those. I think you get up to like 8 shots maybe. I don't remember. I don't play Sojourn that much anymore. Of just max rail. Rail wasn't in a good spot recently, but it's been historically great. So it's awesome. It's a good ultimate. Skill dependent though. Hit your shots with it. It's not bad. But then again, you can get shielded off. You can get out healed if you don't hit all your shots. So it's not amazing, but it should be enough to secure you like a kill. You know, a lot of times I won't pop this until I hit someone low and I have like nothing else to hit them with. So I'll pop overclock and just get that rail back, and start from there. Primal, pretty decent. Pretty decent. Allows Winston to play super, super aggro. Why do I keep getting phone calls? And alarms. So allows him to play very, very aggro. When his primal is active, he can juggle you if, you know, he's mechanically decent. Deals him 1,000 HP, so that contention is there. He can't be really killed, so he can stall for quite some time. I've seen a lot of primal stalls. Sometimes you can even just win with primal. It's very cool ultimate. I will say it's kind of like a Dragon Blade, but a lot less range. You get your leap on a 2-second cooldown versus 6 or 5, whatever it is. I like the ultimate. Do I think it's useful in a team fight? Yes, because you can buy so much time. You can occupy so much time of the enemy. Like in the backline, you can be bullying both an Ana and like a Moira, and they'll have to be helping each other, and you can just be juggling them. The DPS on it's not terrible, but that's not really what it's used for. It can get lots of picks. It can get a lot of AOE, or not. I mean, yeah, AOE, but it can get a lot of environmental kills. The thing that I find useful with this is the 1,000 HP with armor. Allows Winston to just be absolutely annoying, and that's very important in team fights. It's buying a lot of space, buying a lot of time, and he's very safe during it for the most part, unless he gets discorded, slept, fucking anti-bastion turreted, you name it. Like unless he gets full comboed by the entire team, he should be alive for a minute, and that's all that really some of these ults are. Like beat, keep people alive, nano, keep people alive, copy, keep people alive. I think I'll put it better than copy though. It's like a much better version of copy because it's an ultimate. Copy is just taking someone and then you have to earn the ultimate and then still use it. Whereas, you know, you primal and you're an angry monkey and you just go. So I think it's less useful than Grav because it's just for you. Whereas Grav you can play for your whole team, grab someone away from getting killed. You know, like you can even grab the primal and he can't get out of it, so he's stuck there. So I think it's better. You lock someone in one place for the team. You can lock them up. You can lock them down. You can lock them left, right, and center and just kill them. You know what I'm saying? So I think Grab's better than Primal, but I think Primal's still good. Pulse Bomb, absolute fucking S tier. Are we kidding right now? Are we actually joking right now? You get this ultimate twice as much as you get any of these ultimates in the game. Has the potential to kill almost everybody. I think just not Mauga and Orisa and Ryan. Because a lot of times, if you want to get max efficiency out of this, you don't just sticky someone and call it a day. You know, you'll probably poke them down a bit, look for that blink stick, get a melee in, and then call it a day. So any of that DPS you get from your pistols, Mix it in with the punch and the stick. If you get all of that, we're looking at like upwards of like 500 plus damage. So there's that. You could just charge it so fast, like I said. And if you don't want to do that, a stick on a back line kills them. It kills like 80% of the roster just with the stick alone. The catch is though, you gotta stick them. Sticking is sometimes hard. They also nerfed the actual stick radius or whatever, so getting that stick, you're gonna be a little more accurate. That's fine though. The real problem is the counter ability. If you stick a Kiri, she'll just look down and Suzu it. She has plenty of time to react. If you stick a Bap, he just looks down and lamps, plenty of time to react. Stuff like that. There's a lot of saving grace there. Um, but again, you can get this ult so often, and it's very easy to manage when to sticky someone. Like I said, if that's the problem, get Suzu out or go someone that can't be Suzu'd. Just the peer pressure alone, pure, not peer, as opposed to peer pressure. You can get, even if you get lamp out or Suzu out, that's still a big trade. You know, it sucks that your pulse was used for that, but it was used. That's kind of what Tracer's for at the end of the day. But you can end up dying to this pulse bomb on cooldown, right? You can get stuck like 4 times in a match, and that's the end of it. I think it's a great ultimate. I'm putting it S tier simply for the fact that it's got extreme pick potential, um, and you generate it so quickly. You know, if we really wanted to be buttholes about it, we could put it in the highest of A tier. But since it's my fucking list, I'm putting it in S tier. So same with Rally. Oops, same with Rally. Actually, let me order these again in terms of usefulness. It's definitely on the lower end of S tier, but it's still a very strong ultimate. Okay, Rally, awesome ultimate. Everyone's getting overhealth. Break turns into that tank that we all know her as. She gets her dash back, so you can kind of like Genji ultimate. You can dash, and then pop your ult again, and then dash for extra DPS. The ultimate, when you're in rally and you dash, it gets turns into a stun, so you can stun people out of their ultimates, as in the good old days. Um, you get a fat shield that gets bigger, more HP. You just turn into to an absolute beefy unit, and so does the rest of your team. It's kind of like a mini Junker Queen ultimate shout, but better. So there's nothing much more to say about it after that. It's just really strong. It's almost like Beat, but Beat is a big burst of overhealth, and then you kind of just it slowly decays. Rally is like 10 seconds of consistent aura on top of the fact that after rally ends you keep that overhealth for quite some time. Junker Queen ult is very, very nice. I love Junker Queen ult. It's awesome. I put it in the middle of A tier. I think it's better than a Grav for the most part because you can whiff Grav. You can also whiff Junker Queen ult, but it's a lot harder to whiff it because it's a fucking fat straight line. Grav is just one little big hole. Little big hole, really? You know what I mean? It's like in one spot. Rampage is just a huge dash. And the hitbox sometimes sucks. I've been hit by the side of it and it hits me still. It can be Suzu'd, lamped, beat, all that good stuff. But it's a team-wide anti. It's basically just Annonade on a bigger radius. That being said, you can just 5-man Annonade and get the same result as Junker Queen. But this allows her to dash onto your backline for the most part. Allows her to reload her ammo. If you didn't know that, most ultimates will end up reloading some of your ammo. I say most, but that was kind of a lie. I know Mauga Cage will do that. Zarya, Genji, just to name a few. Cass, Soldier. Anyway, so you can dash into the backline after expending your ammo and your kit, which I probably would save some of your kit if you're gonna engage with this. But anyway, you get your ammo back as you ult onto the backline. You can be fighting the front line, take some trades. Ultimate, don't have to worry about reloading. Then you're at the backline with probably your abilities up. Very, very strong because it's hard for Curie to Suzu that if your team is spread out a bit. The Suzu hitbox and the AoE of it. So it can be countered though, but most of the time it won't be. You might just end up waiting for the Suzu to come out, then ult, and then go, and you're kind of living life. Very nice ult. Should be a winning ultimate for the most part. Should be just team fight winning on its own. Diva Bomb in theory does win. It just mostly doesn't. They nerfed the radius of it. quite some time ago, so it's not as impactful or scary as the nuke it used to be. That being said, it can still catch you off guard, it can still pop you, it can still be in a really good spot. Unfortunate for you to juke. Um, Gives Diva her mech back as well, so kind of like Doomfist ultimate right here. Um, you can just get a second life. However, there is an animation to calling your mech, so you can get killed out of the mech call. But we're talking about the pure self-destruct itself. Um, yeah, we kind of already said that it's a little hard to find value with it, but it does zone people away from the objective. It's good for that little 3-second zone. And it can just get a 5k sometimes. You can just pop the entire team, but you don't see it often. Still a good threat. I think it's decent. I think it's B tier. I don't think it's as bad as these ultimates down here, but I don't think it's awesome either. Shatter, I'd put in A tier because you generate shatter pretty quickly. And only, to be honest, not only anyone that gets shattered should be a kill. Especially since you're Ryan, you're in the front line. Everyone's watching what you're doing. Like unless you're a freak and you flank with this or something and nobody knows, or if you shatter and you're the only one alive. I'm not going to get into the situation and the scenarios, but in a team fight, if a successful shatter goes off, it should be lethal for at least one person. You know, should be lethal, and you generate it pretty quickly. So it's on the lower end of A, but still very strong. I'm gonna skip that for just 1 second because I actually don't know what the fuck that is. I'm trying to think right now. I actually don't know what that is. What even is that? It's like a swirly hero landing? What is that? Genuinely, what is that? I don't know. Riptire? Riptire B tier. Good for getting a pick. Easily countered though. 100 health Riptire. If you mess up with your steering of it, they see it, they shoot it, they kill it. Rip your fucking ultimate. Got a huge AoE though, I will say. A huge radius, not AoE. So you can be kind of distant from like 5 meters and the Riptire bomb will still kill. Does a lot of damage as well. It's kind of like a sticky bomb, but you don't generate as fast and it's a lot harder to find the value out of it. That being said, you can be very weird and flank with it and all that good stuff to guarantee its value, and it can just end up popping like 3 people. It's got such a much bigger radius than Pulse Bomb. So I do feel weird about having these two on such different spectrums, but Riptire is Riptire at the end of the day. So we're going to go to Zen Ultimate, also B tier. Zen Ultimate's fine. You can still get popped in Zen Ultimate if you're not the Zen, so Riptire, therefore, can kill anyone in a trank, provided that they're not Malga with fucking over a billion health. Still, can kill through it, can just anti your teammates, it doesn't cleanse them. If it was a cleanse like Kiriko, anything in there is cleansed, I would say it's ultimate S tier, but it doesn't do that. So it's only really good for Zen. It does give him a lot of speed now. It used to be very slow in Overwatch 1, but you can like run to point and contest it quickly. Um, that's pretty much all it's good for, really. The healing is nice. Healing is decent. I have to take a fat ass shit, so I'm gonna try to make this fast. Visor. Visor is pretty good. Um, Again, I think it's just B tier though. I don't think it's on the lower end of B tier. I think it's above all these ultimates, right next to Overclock. Does reload your clip in the right spot on the right target. It just kind of melts them. You can still headshot in it. So I mean, if your aim's good, Visor's like kind of useless, right? But if your aim's not good, Visor's really good. Also still decent. I mean, so it helps. Mercy Ultimate C tier. Having that beam connect to your entire team is probably the only good thing about this. Actually, I take that back. Your movement allows you to be a lot safer, a lot faster. So you should be unable to be killed for the most part unless you get somewhat clipped or CC'd. Also, another fucking ad. I really didn't want to see this the first time, right? Holy shit. Um, I think you get your ultimate, like, or not your ultimate, your res, like, faster or something with it. I can't remember. I don't play Mercy too much anymore. Um, all in all, it's not, like, the worst ultimate in the game, I don't think. Actually, fuck that. It might be the worst ultimate in the game. Um, yeah, we're going to leave it there. Actually, put it above Deadeye, maybe. I should put it on the top end of C. Yeah, we need to readjust this. So in this order, usefulness of ultimates. Holy shit, I need to take a fat one. Widow ultimate, it's decent. It's great in Widow 1v1s, and I mean having those 5-15 second walls can be useful in some scenarios, but let's be real, it's not doing your team a whole lot by just seeing the enemy. Um, I mean, you can get a Sonic Arrow and do the same thing. You can just ping someone. Did we forget pings exist? So there's that. It's nice for Widow though, to help her try and line up the shots on people who don't remember the walls. Hog ultimate, pretty decent. Um, it is a lot of damage and a lot of knockback. So on points where you can die to the edge of the map or just fall, you can knock people out of that almost every time. Very, very good for that. And you can heal during it now, so it's a lot better than it was in Overwatch 1. Pretty decent, pretty decent. And then this last ultimate, I am so sorry, I don't know whose this is. I'm actually blanking on it. I don't even know what to describe that as. I'm blanking. I need to take a fat ass shit too, so I'm gonna pause it and or just come back. And if Hazard was in the game, I'd put Hazard Ultimate A tier, by the way. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I'm sorry for whoever Ultimate this is. I'm rushing to take a fucking poopy, and I can't be bothered to think of that Ultimate. Whoever it is, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's gonna be the video. Let me know what you guys think about these Ultimates. Um, Damn, I should have taken a shit before this. But anyways, that's going to be it, guys. Please do comment on your thoughts and what you would put or change. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.